Hi YouTube, Engineer Boy 100. Today I'm going to be showing you how to change the shutoff valve in the air injection system of a 1999 Mercedes SLK230. The reason is it failed smog due to air injection system not ready. There's no code, there's no engine light, but it doesn't pass smog because the system is not ready. Many times this is due to lack of drive cycles, or there's some component in the system that is not working properly, but is not connected electronically, so it doesn't give you an engine light or code. So in this particular case, I went and checked the vehicle, and the shutoff valve is stuck. It's not open. I put some vacuum to it, and it did not open. So today I'm going to go in and I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to clean it, and I'm going to put it back in. I would have changed it, but it's going to take a few days for me to get a replacement, so for now I'm just going to remove and replace the old one. See you at the car. Alright YouTube, we're down here at the car, and I'm going to take a minute to explain the system to you and show you where everything is. So if you come on in and take off this front cover here, just pops right off. Okay, like so. You can see the components. Now this is the solenoid valve, and this is the valve that the computer has a connector to it. So the computer energizes that, it opens and allows vacuum pressure to go through. Okay, the vacuum pressure goes through to the control valve right here. It goes straight on through to this control valve. That control valve opens and allows intake air to go into the exhaust manifold through a check valve. But we're not going to deal with the check valve today. But the check valve is necessary because it has to withstand the heat of the exhaust manifold, so it has a much heavier spring. And that heavier spring could not be opened with vacuum pressure, and that is why we need the control valve here, so that we can open and close it with the computer to let the outside air in. So mine is old. It's been in there for a long time. It's right here, and it even has the original clamps on it, so we have to take those off. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I don't think it's the check valve, and I don't think it's the solenoid valve here, because I've recently changed both of those, and I tested the control valve here. I just took this vacuum line loose here and put vacuum to it, and it would not open. So that's pretty clear indication to me that that's where the problem is. So let's get right into it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this air filter cover and my little valve and hoses here, so that you can have a better view. For the purpose of this video, so you can have a better view. I've already loosened the hose clamp to save time. And this electrical connector here, and there's a hose here, goes to the intake, actually not the intake, goes to the valve cover. Alright, so to take this off, now we can get some light in here so we can actually see the valve better, and you can see what I am doing. I want to show you where the check valve is too. It's right underneath that on the exhaust manifold. Alright, so you already know where the solenoid valve is, and you know that it controls the control valve. And right below that, if you move this pipe back, you can see the check valve. Okay, and it's right here. We're not going to bother that today, but that's where it is, and it's screwed into the exhaust manifold. Okay, right there, that's the check valve, control valve, and solenoid valve, and those are the three components of the SLK230. So now I'm going to let you watch me remove the little control valve. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is try and get these, well, I'm going to take this little, this is the control from the solenoid valve, okay, and I'm going to use these little screwdrivers here to try and take these OEM style hose clamps off and throw them away. So if I can get under, they tuck it down up underneath it. I think I'll take them off. But I always figure a way to get them off. So usually the screwdrivers are the best way to manipulate these clamps. Get underneath them and just kind of pry. You got to be patient and pop with the weasel. So there's the first one. And cue music. We'll throw that away. We will not be reusing that style of clamp. So we get underneath this next one here. See if we can pop it loose too. Get a little bit of space between it and the hose. Down there. And there's number 2. Now we'll just work the hoses loose and take out the valve. Don't want to lose that. And I gave it a little bit of a twist and a little working with the screwdriver, and now it's loose enough to get out. So once I got the control valve off, the way I cleaned it was I used throttle body cleaner first. I put it in, let it soak for a little bit, and then I actuated it with this vacuum here. I put vacuum to it, and then I released it. Hear that? That is the actual valve closing once vacuum is removed. That's exactly what it does in the car. Vacuum is applied, the valve is open, release the vacuum, and the valve closes. So I did that until it started moving again. And then I put some seafoam in it after I let all of the carburetor cleaner evaporate. I put some seafoam in it because it really does remove carbon and little bits of grime. I put a little bit of that in here, and I let it soak a little bit to remove whatever I could. And I actuated it to move it so that the seafoam could get all around the valve, like so. Then I poured that out, see, like so, it's poured out, actuate it, and I opened it up again, let it stay open, and I squirted a little bit of WD-40 in it to lubricate it. And it's okay to do that with this because it doesn't really experience dirty air, it comes after the air filter, and it doesn't experience the same heat as the check valve because it's not close to the manifold. So I put a little WD-40 in it, just to lubricate it. It's working really, really good now. As you can hear, just opening, closing, opening, closing. So once that you get it working right again like that, just put it back in. And that's how you do it. Then there's a drive cycle. This particular drive cycle is start the engine, warm it up to 80 degrees Celsius, then rev the engine to like, they say 1400 RPM, but anywhere between 1400 and 2000 RPM for 7 minutes. Then let it idle. Let it idle for like 6 seconds. Then turn it off for 10 seconds. Then turn the car back on right away and do it again. 7 seconds at 14 to 2000 RPM. Then let it idle for 6 seconds. Then turn it off again. And if you do that and you drive normally, it should reset the not ready code for air injection, if this was a problem. Okay, so that's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day. Okay, I decided to go ahead and let you guys see the install, because there's not much to it. I went ahead and put Dawn on the hoses and on the valve to make it easy for me. Slide in. You want to make sure the direction is correct. Here's a little arrow. Okay, it's going into the exhaust manifold. Okay, so you make sure you have that, and right there's your plus. This little vacuum connector is going to be on the side of the switch here so that it can connect. So anyway, I just slide it in. Look at that. When you put that Dawn on there, and then it goes away once the car starts running. You don't want to use oil or grease or anything like that because it kind of tends to degrade the rubber on your hoses. So let me grab a screwdriver here. You want to put your hose clamps on too so that when you go to tighten them up or take them off later, the little nut is positioned where it's easy for you to access it. a little tip to make your job easier the next time you do it. Don't put it the way they had it. Put it in an orientation that's easiest for you to get your screwdriver in there, or your wrench or whatever, and tighten or loosen that hose clamp. And for me, this seems to make the most sense for this one. And for this one, it seems to make the most sense to have it angled pretty much the way it is now. Be a little bit up. And that's it. The valve is reinstalled. I'll run the cycle, see if the readiness clears, and I'll take the car and have it smogged. You guys want me to show you a snapshot of the past smog certificate once it's all done? I don't know if I'm going to do that because I'm probably not going to be worried about this anymore once it passes. So this is probably all you're going to get. And you can look at your own past smog certificate if this helps you pass smog. So that is all. And thank you again for watching.